Welcome to Leadership Studio by ETEducation in association with Coursera. We are going to be spotlighting advancing higher education curriculum to careers. And today we will be going through a plethora of topics that are changing the evolving education landscape, right from AI, of course, to online courses, industry microcredentials, and how they're all combining to change us as learners and educators. Join me in introducing my very esteemed panel of the day today. We have with us Dr. Priyesh Gandhi, who is the Provost of Sigma University. Thank you for joining us, sir. We have Brigadier Vyas, who is the Director of the Institute of Advanced Research. Thank you for your time, sir. We have Prashasti Rastogi, the Director of Coursera. Thank you, Prashasti, for joining us. And we have Dr. Dharmesh Shah, the Provost of Indrashil University. Thank you for joining us all today. To start off with, my question is to our educators. You are an insider, you know exactly what's going on. What are the sort of, if I was asking you to provide us with a SWOT analysis of the education industry today, how do you see it? Sir, if I could start off with you.
So suppose I want to summarize the SWOT analysis for the higher education. So as of now, we are discussing the artificial intelligence and computer science and engineering. So that is, but obvious, it is going to be the strength. But with the same time, it is also going to be an weaker part in higher education, because most of the time, or the students' mentality and parents' mentality is that they are going in only one direction. Everyone is want to opt for computer science engineering, or they want to specialization in artificial intelligence. No one want to become an mechanical engineer or a electrical engineer or a civil engineer. As of now, India is investing huge in artificial intelligence as well as in the infrastructure development. So it may happen later after 10 year, 20 year, that it is very difficult to find the civil, mechanical and electrical engineers. So what opportunity that I see in higher education is that we should also have certain kind of courses for these branches, specifically for the conventional branches. We should integrate artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT in their course curriculum, and even we have to train them for the certain specialized skill. And threat, I don't see any threat as far as the Indian higher education is concerned. As far as the artificial intelligence, machine learning, only thing is going to be the competition, right? As new education policy has been implemented and India has opened the door for the foreign universities to open their campuses in India. So there will be an competition, and we should be tight our shoes, and we should be ready for that competition, and we should also impart the quality education to not only to our students, but also we should have certain things for all the stakeholders, those who are connected with the university.
Absolutely, very well put, sir. Brigadier, how do you see it, and what's the biggest trend that you are excited about?
I believe that presently our education is undergoing through a very exciting transformation, moving away from traditional classroom models to more innovative and personalized learning experiences. And if we have to talk about SWOT in this regard, our strength definitely lies in the kind of push which has been given to higher education. Like today, we have about 1,200 higher education institutions in the country, and as far as the state of Gujarat is concerned, probably it is the best, having close to 100 universities. And so this is the issue of quantity, which is definitely a big strength. But coming to weakness, there is a concern about quality, which we have to address. As far as opportunities are concerned, one is of course generative AI, which has come in a big way, and secondly, the alignment of our education along with the industry, the kind of support which is coming from the industry, and this has been recently addressed in the budget also. There is no particular threat per se, but then the issue of employment, because most of the time people are looking at only getting an employment, the focus on job. So that is something, unless we address it, unless there is an element of comfort level in this case, this will remain a threat to higher education, because ultimately we have to look at higher education attractive, and are people doing well not only for themselves but for the society.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your inputs. Now, moving on to Dr. Dharmesh Shah. Sir, would you agree with these two gentlemen who've spoken before?
Yeah, so if you talk about a SWOT, let me first think like that the perspective has changed. So today, the complete education system is getting transformed from a unitary nature to a interdisciplinary nature. So there are opportunities for all institutes. If we are providing that opportunity to our students, looking at the interdisciplinary aspect, like if today somebody says a civil engineer is not required, but civil engineer is required with AI knowledge, that is more important. So things has changed from a unitary structure to an interdisciplinary structure. So there is an opportunity definitely there. The biggest threat today which I see is that if the institute doesn't change themselves, then things are going to be worst, right? And industry also is looking for all the things. Industry is ready to support, institute is looking at industry, and unfortunately thing is that both are waiting for each other, whereas both knows that there is a need. Strength lies in our traditional academic system, and our Indian education system is really good, and with an implementation of NEP, if the institutes are not opening up their mindset by providing a hybrid ecosystem for classroom education along with an online education, then things are not going to work. And probably COVID has been the best time for all of us where we were able to introduce an online learning. Otherwise, our faculty member may not have learned all these things. Today, all the senior professors are learning it very fast because of the COVID thing only, because they realize that if something like a COVID comes, then there is no way that we will be able to go out. AI is becoming threat for others, but at the same time, I think we can go back to Y2K problem that we are all talking about. Y2K has never created a chaos. So people says AI is going to create an havoc, but no, it's not going to create an havoc. It is actually going to give an opportunity for all of us to cater the need of the society at this time.
All right, so not causing havoc, but actually looking at it as how we can adopt it, embrace it, and use it to our advantage as well, like how students are using it. Now, you spoke about interdisciplinary, so I want to stay with you to talk about multidisciplinary as well. We can introduce that by means of online learning via the courses that students take for credits. Now, how do you think they align with industry perspective and industry opportunities, and how are the students viewing these courses online?
Yeah, so let me begin. I was just talking to Prashasti some time back that at my university, we have already introduced this model. A student going to industry for 6 months, we give them a complete credit, and that is part of my regulation. So students today are not only, that's what I was talking, like unitary structure. So if a civil engineering student is not learning how to use AI in their curriculum, then they are not going to be useful for the society. Same thing is applicable to chemistry student also. Same thing is applicable to biotechnology student, because today my research scientists are working on drug delivery, drug identification of a molecules for drug. Now they are spending a lot of time in a laboratory in experimenting various things in a chemical reactions, right? But if the same thing, if I can do it in advance with the AI, then that reduces my time to market for the particular molecular development, and it is really going to be useful to the society. So that's where probably we all have to align that industry ready programs, online programs which can give the micro credential to the students as well as the credits. We are already offering micro specialization in all programs. We are already offering minor degrees also in all our programs. So they are truly in interdisciplinary kind of nature. So if my chemistry student, BSc chemistry student wants to learn AI in chemistry, then he has to complete 3 courses. And these 3 courses, either they can take it at campus or they can take any online MOOC program available. Only condition is that they have to take an approval, prior approval of taking that course from the dean of the school. Okay. So if the dean approves that yes, it has the equivalent credit, then yes, that student is allowed to take it online, and we give that a credit. Right? So this is the only way probably right now. Maybe in future we may have more such alternatives available, but this is the way that we have to move forward if we really want to see that our academic system is aligned with the real-time needs of the society.
to match up with the robust learning model, we do need to offer these online courses, and also, as you mentioned, the micro credentials that are industry aligned. And especially when they come with a tag of Google or a Meta, how do students react, Dr. Gandhi? And what is the sort of split we're seeing between students who are reluctant and students who are eager about this?
So definitely this kind of certification is going to help the students definitely to acquire the right skill set and to get the job in the market. But what I suggest that not only for the students, also for the faculty, it is going to be the mandatory thing to upskill themselves by acquiring such knowledge and such skill through this certification, not only from the industry but for whatever other platforms like Coursera or a Swayam portal, so that they can be updated and they can transfer the knowledge to the students. And the other certification are definitely going to help the students to learn from the industry experts what actual practice, what actually the application of that particular subject. So that is going to help the boost their confidence, and even they are very much you can say that useful for the industry and useful for the society.
Sir, absolutely. It's very essential for the students and also for the industry to have career-ready students. We can't just have students who are topping on paper, and they have to be prepared all the time. Brigadier, how do you see these micro-credentials that are industry-aligned, and what is the sort of added benefit that students are gleaning from this?
We have been talking about a skill for about a decade now. And then there is this NEP coming through, which has been long awaited and a great initiative. And we talk about a skill, but issue is like in an academic setup, the skill sets are required are too many. And you can't have resources for everything. So that way, like if we can use various online platforms which are available, and this system of academic bank of credits, and getting these MOOC courses through SWAYAM and NPTEL platforms. So this is going to do a great service. And the biggest gain with micro-credential is that, firstly, it can focus on the required skill. It is flexible. All those skills, whatever are being acquired, they can be accumulated. And whatever you learn, this is with an aim. So what is required, you learn that, and nothing gets wasted. Because like I have done a lot as far as aligning our curriculum with industries is concerned. Like the first step of designing any curriculum or syllabus is that you have a board of studies, any university, where you work out the entire syllabus. So what we have decided that this board will always have an industry rep. So this industry representation has done us a lot of good. And the one awakening which we got, somebody said that whatever is being taught in the course or in the program, 90% of this is not relevant whenever the student goes for the job. And the requirements of job, 90% of things a student doesn't know. So a lot of things are required to be taught while the person has already joined a job. So if the same thing we can, by these micro credentials, these things can be addressed during the education. So all those requirements can be met, and once the student is going for the job, he is skilled, she is skilled, and then lot of time is not spent on the kind of apprentice which is being done. So these things have to be addressed in the course curriculum only. The course has to be aligned, micro credentials, this transfer of credits, these things. And today with the AI and all online facilities which are available, this is very easy. Only thing is that, so we have to make use of these provisions which are available to all of us in the present times. And NEP is a very good measure. The best thing about it is that it is student centric, and with practical and societal quantum which it is offering, it is its biggest contribution. So now the two things we are able to gain. One is that our focus is on a skill, and whatever we learn is not getting wasted.
Absolutely. Industry aligned learning, and also providing it in a holistic manner with multidisciplinary learning. We're moving in the right direction, but I would love to hear from Prashasti. At Coursera, what are the sort of queries that people have about micro-credentials, and what is the most frequently asked question?
Yeah, actually, I resonate with all the three, panelists very clearly. Higher education right now is not only multidisciplinary, it's collaborative, and it's also AI assisted. And if you put it in the context of NEP, NEP says up to 40% credits can be learned online. What are those 40% credits that NEP is giving guidance towards? NEP is saying that we need to have ability enhancement credits, we need to have skill enhancement credits, and obviously we need to teach foundations and fundamentals to them. So 60% is pretty much foundational skills, fundamentals, so that the core of the individual is strong, and 40% has to be ability and skill. Now, if I put that in the context of industry, industry says there are various kinds of skills that we look for in a professional. Some are durable skills, some are hard skills, some are domain skills. So that 40% and what the industry is asking has to be a match. And that is what NEP has done for Indian higher education system. Now, how do we deliver those skills? The hard skills are all technical skills or emerging skills or futuristic skills, and they can be in any domain, right? We are not only talking about computer science, they can be anything. And then there are durable skills, which are critical thinking, problem solving, remote working, business communication, human-computer interaction. All these things need to be taught as well. And these are very important because education system today is preparing students to compete in the global talent market. And we have heard Prime Minister Modi talk about it 100 times, that India does not only want to be a source of talent in India, but we want to compete and export our talent anywhere that you like. There are about 1,500 global competency centers in India from various industries. They're hiring talent from India and they're looking for these skills. How do you make it fast? How do you make it accurate? And how do you make it scalable? That's where industry microcredentials come into play. At Coursera, we partnered with about 325 top-class companies and university systems around the world. In fact, IIM Ahmedabad is also a Coursera partner as we are sitting in Ahmedabad to build skill credentials which are stackable, competency aligned, and give all the durable skills as well as hard skills mapped to job roles to students. And they are easily integrated into curriculum because National Skill Qualification Framework in India allows them to be offered for credit. And this is the extensibility of a program or a curriculum that we are bringing to the higher education institutions around the world.
Well, it's definitely had a huge impact on education. And another buzzword, which is having a huge and perhaps a lasting impact, probably is AI. Right, sir, I would love to ask all of you on our panel today, what do you think has been the biggest impact of AI over the last few years?
So the biggest impact of AI is that the time anyone can save the time, and most probably the students and staff member, they have made the job very much easy. Even the layman can use the ChatGPT as of now, right? If it has been trained properly, it requires a little bit of hands-on experience, right? So that added advantage in the day-to-day life and the day-to-day work. So definitely AI is going to dictate the term, and we should also impart the right skill, and we should take this skill to the society also, that how to use it and how wisely we can use it. So that is going to have the bigger and everlasting impact of artificial intelligence on the humanity.
Yes, the betterment of society
Yes.
is something that AI should work towards, but is it actually happening? We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, we have to wait for certain period of time because it is just a starting days.
Absolutely.
And we are just taking a baby steps. So it is a long journey ahead for the fullest use or optimum use of artificial intelligence.
Baby steps by all industries. And Brigadier, how have you witnessed AI being adopted by the education sector?
I feel that the role of AI in higher education in particular, the biggest gain which we have is about differentiated learning and enhancement of learning and time saving. Because most of the time we do struggle with the teacher-student ratio. So this is where it can come to our help. And other than the ratio, it is addressing both slow as well as advanced learners. So, with this AI, you can ensure personalized learning for the slow learners, uh, the assignments of higher level for the advanced learners, and whether it is requirement of normal learning, language, and other personalized learning, those things can be definitely made use of. But then, like they say that every good thing has a flip side. So, we may say anything, but on ground there are issues of privacy, security, and too much of reliance on technology. Like probably many of the students have taken it as a shortcut, and somehow it is going to impact the creativity, writing skills, and other potential which people have. Unless you exercise your potential, you cannot get the best benefit of it. So that is where we have to be careful. But having said that, like this is something which we cannot do about. Like it is said that in another 7-8 years, the market of generative AI is going to be $5.5 billion, and this thing is here to stay. So we have to address whatever shortcomings are there, and this has to be taken as a help to our normal operations of education, where whatever we are lacking, whether it is having this differentiated instructions, whether it is addressing both slow learners and advanced learners as part of the same class. And then there are many routine things, making use of chatbot or virtual assistants. So the faculty, they can, normal routine functions, they can be taken care of by these things. And faculty as well as the students, they are more focused about the basics of the teaching, going deeper into their subject. So that is where we can make use of this AI.
Certainly, and delving into the personalization aspect that you mentioned, Dr. Shah, how do you see the personalization developing with AI, and do you think it's already happening?
Yeah, so I think Professor Vyas rightly said. So if you look at AI and its impact for academics, I'll put it in a different way. See, one is an like completely personalized learning kind of thing, but at the same time, for the future market, we already know that there are going to be certain job skills requirements. So based on the job roles requirement, AI can be utilized to identify the areas where we need a student to train, right? So that is one aspect. So based on that, you can have the content. That is one. Second is that based on the grades of the student, you can identify, you can do analysis, because see, human beings are prone to make errors on the repetitive task. So those things can be done through the AI, and then you will be able to find out based on their results, fast learners, slow learners, and then you can identify, segregate them out, that what are the skill set additionally required to these particular students to ensure that they are again ready. And why we only look at a job, they can be the entrepreneurs also. So considering the skills, that analysis also can be done using this kind of generative AI, that whether the student is good for a business model also or not. Because we don't need everyone to look for a job, right? So those analysis can be done through the personalized learning models, and at the same time we can identify the skill gaps based on the job role requirements. So skill training can also be done accordingly in that particular direction, higher education academic part also, and we can find out their interest, domain of interest, and considering all this, we can also fine tune the overall academic system, which is going to be useful to the society. Otherwise, going traditional way, all human beings are prone to make errors. And teachers, like, you cannot train them, because teachers also have today a lot of other responsibility. So they may not be able to fully devote, because we say that today teacher role has changed. Today they are no more teachers, they are mentors. But mentor also have their own limitations. So probably AI can be used in this way, and again it has a negative side also. But if you consider negative side and then don't move forward, then you'll not be able to take an advantage of the technology.
Like you mentioned, these personalized learning tracks, and also the fact that it can bridge the gaps is invaluable indeed. Prashasti, at Coursera, you're making rapid advancements in the field of generative AI. Tell us about the offerings that you have.
Yeah, I pick up the word technology that Dr. Shah was talking about. Fourth industrial revolution, technology brought in automation. Low-skilled workers were displaced. And knowledge economy got created, people with higher education degrees got employed, and we became a service sector economy, right? Now, generative AI is sort of a next industrial revolution, where degree holders, or knowledge economy is getting replaced, because the machine is smart enough to analyze, train itself and produce quicker input, and also error free. Boston Consulting Group realized that over a span of period, when they took 1,000 analysts and gave them the same task to do without AI and with AI, they saw about 70% efficiency gain in the repetitive task, and the highest productivity gain came in the people who were below average earlier, right? This is the power of generative AI. Now let me put it in the context of higher education. What are the problems that we need to solve in India? We need to solve two problems. We need to strengthen the academic excellence, not only in terms of employability that we talked about, but also faculty competency, right? Second problem we need to solve is generate enrollment growth. These are the top of the mind recall that I'm hearing from my panelists and from my interactions everywhere. AI assisted academic excellence, AI assisted enrollment growth is something that we at Coursera are trying to solve as a problem statement. If we were to create a self-learning environment, which NEP already allows to do, and institutions are autonomous and can include, how do we make sure that online fatigue doesn't set in and student is inquisitive and learning beyond what is being taught? So we created Coursera Coach, which is a AI tutor available to the students on the platform. While they learn, they can ask questions, interact, clear their doubts, and also move forward in learning by saying, I understand this better, give me something more advanced. And it is grounded in Coursera content, so no misinformation can happen. Faculty competency, how do we solve that? Where does the faculty seek all the information on what is an agile curriculum? What is relevant that students need to know? Course Builder as a tool based on the large language models has been trained on the Coursera platform, where faculty can give program outcomes as a prompt and generate and build a course which is localized in their own context, and also upload their own content and mix and match, and also create an assessment which the students can take. So you have an output which can go into your grade book. That's the second problem that we can solve in the academic excellence domain. Now the other thing on the gross enrollment ratio is, how do I make sure that I'm creating new programs but also launching them online so that I can reach a wider network of students who are outside of the higher education system. So tools like these can help you scale faster at a fraction of a cost, because the time to market and investment has significantly gone down, because you are deploying AI and making your entire business network very smart. And there are so many efficiencies that you can bring into the system, which are at the end of the day driving a major social mission of making India literate.
Super. And with everything you've said, Prashasti, I go back to my first question about SWOT. I think now we can all be agreed that AI is definitely falling in the strength and opportunities sector. It has some weaknesses, slight threat, but I think we're all going to overcome that together. Thank you so much for joining us today for such a thought-provoking discussion, and it's been very informative for me, for sure. Thank you so much for your valuable time, and thank you for watching. And remember, for more such very interesting conversations, you can catch those at our leadership studio, that is by ETEducation in association with Coursera.